Hello, and welcome back to the Cave of Creation. Today we have a reasonably sized map release as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to introduce you to Deescombe Manor near Maidenhead. Now, before you start looking, Deescombe Manor doesn't exist, and I have modified the Ordnance Survey map you will see in a moment to put it onto an original map from the period. It is, however, strongly based on an existing Elizabethan house, and the first people to discover it may get pinned to the top of the comments. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait a week, and then I will pick one person that's said the correct answer for what they think the house it's based on is, and I will pin their name to the top of the comments. If there isn't anyone, I'll put it up there myself, but I need to give credit where credit's due. So, moving on, Deescombe Manor is created as a headquarters for the game Basson, but it could be used as a Elizabethan onward house for anything. The version I'm going to tour you through today is one before it's had any work on it. So in Vasson, it's the start of the headquarters when the PCs have just moved in and they haven't developed anything yet. So there's a lot of ruined rooms, rooms full of cobwebs. There will be a version of the map coming out at a later date where all of this has been filled in, but that's some time away at the moment. I've already put a lot of work into this map and I have various other projects I need to do. So, moving to the Ordnance Survey map I mentioned, there you go with Deescombe Manor appearing in the middle. Now if I zoom in, and you can see just the sheer scale of quality on this map, there is Deescombe Manor with Maidenhead just up the road. You can see you've got a very high quality Ordnance Survey map with the manor showing in the middle of it and the grounds. The building layout, there is another map that shows every room. This was actually taken from Dungeon Alchemist and then run through Photoshop. Again, it's a massive file. This is one that's actually cut down. So you can see what all of the rooms are and do, or what they'd be planned to be. Again, it's based on an Elizabethan building. So you've got royal suites on the second floor, and then you've got servants' quarters in the towers on top. So that will be available as well, though that can't go out with the damn files on Dungeon Alchemist. What it can do is go onto our Facebook page, and in the longer term, I'm going to look at a way to try and combine these, possibly find a way to put them onto Drive-Thru-RPG and embed them more in Foundry, but that's an ongoing project. Needless to say, if you like the sound of that and you want to know more, click the subscribe button, click the bell, and you will get a notification. Click like. If you click like, I know you want this kind of content and I know to go out and actually start the work. If you want to find it on something like Drive-Thru-RPG, put in the comments where you think I should be putting it. Where would be a good place for you to find the source material besides Facebook, Discord, and the damn files on Steam. Dam.dam being the Dungeon Alchemist map files. So, moving on, let's move into the building. There you can see in the distance I'm using a controller just because it's a slightly bit more controllable speed-wise. You've got the outside of the buildings. Now, you won't get the 3D variant of this in Foundry, sadly. Open the door and go into the Great Hall. You may look at, if we stop and look at one of the various portraits. They've been taken from Hero Forge. And they're supposed to look a bit more like artwork than that, so I might have to do some updates. I'd run them through Photoshop to try and make them look more painting-like. And that one's a bit better. So, the Great Hall is the entranceway where parties would be held in the building. You've got bits you can't see that you'd see on the map, so behind that chair there would be a secret door. There you've got a couple of group portraits. The grand staircase going up. Another group portrait. Now I'm not going to spend too long on a lot of this, but get caught in the stairs. We come down this way. There's the main doors. I'm not going to bother going out the front. Open a side door, a couple of ways. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Let's open the other one. Eek. Need to fix that. And we are into the butler's quarters. The house comes with a butler when you start. So the butler is still resident. It's the only member of staff that's still resident and keeping what they can live. Photos. I think that's Avebury. No, it's the Hurlers in Cornwall. Again, I've taken a lot of pictures that I've created, photography, and converted them to look more like artwork. There's Stonehenge. And try to make the portraits more interesting for anyone that wants to use it in first-person mode. Details on the house, the residents, will be being made. So you've got a little kind of quiet nook that hides from anyone in the Great Hall. The brewery and buttery. Down this way. We have the scullery. And then through into what is the main kitchen. Oh, someone's dropped a ladle on the floor. I'll have to have a word with Cook about that. Further down this way, you've got what's called the small kitchen, which is where bits and pieces would have been done at the time that weren't actually a main meal, or where the servants would be cooking anything they were getting to eat. Servant stairs going up the back. Down this way, we have a dumbwaiter. At this stage, of course, it wouldn't be working, but it's there. Then the back hallway. Oh, smack myself at the door again. Servant's bathroom. Pantry. Ladies' maids' quarters. I'm not going to go through all of the quarters, but this gives you an idea. Now, of course, for Foundry, this will all be top-down maps, so the only way you get the first-person stuff will be if you've got Dungeon Alchemist, though I do intend to try and include some videos and pictures as I create a more advanced version. But as I said, that's an ongoing project. Back out. That's not going to be helpful. Okay, can I get around this? Combining map making with playing a video game. So, quick look. I'm going to speed up a bit now. And we're into what's called the waiting hall. the one I wanted to come into, the music room. Again, put in the comments if you recognise any of the creatures or characters you see on the wall. And then if I rapidly move down, toilet. Again, that would be a secret door, but I don't have that functionality. Then there should be a door down here somewhere, which leads you into some of the more ruined areas. And I have a missing door. So I will fix that before this goes live. There should be another door in that wall to enable you to get into the nursery area. Unless it's the other side of this one. Don't think so. So that gives you a rough idea. And then we will head up the stairs. Now, just so you're aware, this is going to be video magic rather than gameplay magic. Here we are at the top of the stairs. They are talking about putting in true multi-level on this. So that gantry is what would be the ruined bottom of a spiral staircase going up to the next floor. And that would be a balcony looking down onto the floor below. Again, various artwork on the walls. Down the corridor. And into the study, or what could become the map room. And what they've created here in Dungeon Alchemist is amazing. You may recognise on the wall that particular map. If you play Vassan, you'll notice you'll recognise several of the maps. Okay. Through these side doors. I will go through and check the opening directions for all these doors and correct them. So you've got a side through to the library. The library, just for a quick view, I'm not going to go out, has a view out onto the balcony. Something similar on the other side. Then, conveniently, secret door there, which shows you to a secret stash of books. And the only form of secret door in Dungeon Alchemist at the moment is the hidden bookcase, which isn't appropriate for everywhere, which is why I've got places where it's not actually a door. And then we have another doorway with stairs leading down. Now, sadly, I couldn't not have a door at the bottom of those stairs. That door really shouldn't be there, but it's not a problem when you're looking on a top-down map. That actually is a double staircase that goes all the way to the basement. This one takes you into a living stroke lounge area. Again, an array of artwork. All of the stuff to put the pictures in is on the Facebook page, by the way. All of those pictures are there set up individually if you want to use them. Open the double doors to the main dining room. More artwork. And again, views outside. You can see a nook with various bits and pieces on it. The Foundry version of this will basically have it set up so that you can't see the lights, but it exports them so that you can choose whether they show on or off. If we head this way, you can see what would have been the Queen's visiting room. Not the Queen's, this is the lounge one. But lots of spider webs. I'm not going to go around all of the rooms that look like this because that's most of them. And you'll be able to see those on the map. I do like the way they've done the mirrors, but you can't see yourself in token form in a mirror. Not that's necessarily a bad thing. And more doors from the main hall that go out to the balcony. The second floor is currently completely derelict. So I'm going to head down this way and go through that secret door in the library. And take you down the 2 stories to the basement. Here we are. So this one is going to be tricky because there's a couple of those secret doors to go through that don't really exist. So here you have an occult temple. A couple of statues. At this point in time, again, it's not in use, so the candles are deliberately out, but you can control those if you have Dungeon Alchemist. If you don't, I would thoroughly recommend it. So if we now go through what would be a secret door just behind this, boom. And you have an occult archive with, scarily, 2 copies of an interesting artifact in the corner. Again, if you think you know what it is, put it in the comments. I've skipped the period in the temple. And into an occult workshop stroke alchemist's lab. Currently, you can't turn off the electricity effect. There is a request in for that functionality. So, to save time, I'm going to teleport us to the bottom of the stairs you'd use to normally get into the basement. Here we go. Again, there is another hidden secret door there. One of the problems currently with not having ceilings is you can see straight over the wall. So if you're trying to hide anything behind them, it's a bit tricky. So we have the normal cellar. Wine cellar. Ignore the spider stroke alien's eggs. This takes us to our dumbwaiter. As I said, I'm going to do a clean version of all of this ready to go, but this is where it fits in my campaign currently. Door that I can't actually open at the moment. Not hugely important. Through there is the coal store, and there's the main delivery. Cold store is very similar to that, with some shelving and with another room at the far end for where ice would have been delivered. So I'm going to skip through these walls. So, large vaulted cellar area that can be used as a shooting range. Again, secret doors behind these that we can't get to. One there that I will teleport through in a minute. Might do a bit more teleporting. I didn't realise how impossible these cobwebs were going to make my life. So that stairway that's hidden there takes you up to the secret door that's in the toilet upstairs I mentioned. Let's jump through this one into one of the less attractive areas. We have the torture chamber, along with dissection tables, rack, because what Elizabethan house would be good without a torture chamber? And then we have various cells. Same in the other, there are 4 cells. I'm not going to go and bore you by showing them all. So I'm going to teleport to the other side of those cobwebs. There we go. So that's another doorway that takes you back into the shooting range. There's all sorts of other little bits and pieces that will be hidden here for you to find for yourself. You can jump really high in this, apparently. But not enough to get through there. Teleport time. Boom. So we have another secret door through there that takes you to the armory. Secret door there that takes you to the treasury. Otherwise, it's just storage. So if we pin this way to the armory, all of this is auto-generated, so it could easily be changed for something more appropriate. So you have a small armory, and I'm just going to teleport straight to the treasure room. And here we have our treasure room. So that's the bulk of the important stuff in the basement. Rather than dragging you through everything else, I'm just going to teleport us straight to the second floor. At this point, none of the staircases are intact to get the characters to the second floor. And we're there. So if the spiral staircase actually was there, we would come out of where that hole is and up into the royal area and the grand gallery. So as you can see, it's fairly decrepit. There would be, if we had ceilings and the ability, skylights overhead in here, as there would be for the long gallery. There are various secret doors, secret stairways that I haven't mentioned. There's actually a corridor going behind all of those walls, and there would be lots of pictures and portraits. Think of the classic opening eyes and looking through them. That will be put in when this all goes into Foundry as one-way walls that characters can see through. Problems with the doors that have spiders' webs. So the house this was based on, just to give you some clues to hunt, was actually built by Queen Elizabeth. And this room in it is known as Queen Mary's room. So you've got more rooms, similar styles there to the side. There are various other bathrooms and toilets in the place. Here's another point where a stairway would come up. And that would be a bathroom. And just the other side of that wall, if I could get through there past these cobwebs, there we go, are where the servants' stairs up would come and the stairs to go up to the towers, which is where we're going next. So that's where those broken stairs would come up into what's storage now, but would have been servants' quarters. Doorway through to what would have been the servants' bathroom. And oh, dog coming in behind me. Close that door so I can go out this one. So this takes us out onto the roof. Now there shouldn't be a flat roof. All those areas that you can see are gridded should be raising up. So you should have a couple of angled peaks coming up to here, then it angling down to the other rooms on the towers. And then if you come down here, so it will look fine top down. Again, more servants' quarters. They all look similar. Very decrepit with some rough plaster. Close. I don't use controllers much, but I can control the speed I'm moving this slightly better with. Okay, still on or off. Guys, you need to make you able to controller joysticks work with speed. So though these technically are sewer entrances, I'm using them as skylights here. You can't see the side ladders from the map view. So they look vaguely like skylights until I get something that will enable me to do it, and hopefully something that will enable us to put in roofs on the outside. So there you have it. Deescombe Manor. The down files will be available on Steam today, and there's a link to the Steam area down in the description. And there will also be links to Dungeon Alchemist if you haven't got it, our Discord, our Facebook, and again, a lot of the images will be sat on the Facebook page because it'll let me put up really big images, and these are not small. And then I'm looking to see how I get the Foundry exports going. I might just put the JSON images to go with the main images, as I have done before on the Witch Cat's Inn, and that'll do for now, but I am looking for a better solution. I hope you've liked that and found it interesting. As I said before, if you have, put it in the comments, put what you liked, let me know. There will be more Hero Forge stuff coming on Wednesday, more Dungeon Alchemist in some form coming next week on Friday, and then whatever I get done between now and then. The projects I'm looking at starting are some painting tutorials, some Dungeon Alchemist tutorials, and whatever that is will probably hit on Sunday. So I hope you've liked it. If it has, click like, tell me what you liked in the comments, tell me what you think of Deescombe Manor. What else could I do with it? Let me know what you want to do with it and what you might use with it. If you have used it, let me know how it went. Clicking like, putting things in the comments really helps the channel grow. So if you could do so, I'd be really grateful. As to subscribing, when we hit 100 subscribers, I can actually put a dedicated name in YouTube to the channel, which I can't at the moment. So I'm 28 away. If you're not one of the 72 I've got right now, please think about subscribing to enable us to get there. The Discord has no ties to it. There is no Patreon. There may be in the future, but it will be purely for people to help support the channel. There isn't going to be any particular extras there. The most there may ever be will be a dedicated Patreons area in the Discord. So that said, I hope you've liked this. I'll see you next time, and bye for now.